Welcome. Here with Izadile here, and I will be taking you on web design tutorial. So to begin with, today we'll be looking at server installation, Joomla installation, and Joomla template installation. Well, before a website can be up and running, you need some installation on your server, and depending on how you want to develop your website, you'll be needing an HTTP server which does or which handles the request from your web browser to the server. So, but today we'll be taking a look at one of the content management systems, CMS, which is Joomla. So I'll be taking you through how to use Joomla, starting from the installation, the customization. Then we'll also be looking at how to do templates and how to use modules and extensions and so many other stuffs. So as you join me in this tutorial, you'll be able to develop a website as a professional. Okay, the first part will be dealing on server installation. You might be wondering, how is server installation so important? Without your server, when someone types in www.whatever.com or example.com into their web browser, it's the server that does handle the request. We have both the hardware part of the server and the software part of the server, but any system can do the hardware part, but we need some basic softwares for the server installation of Joomla. The first is Apache, and we also need MySQL. You need your Apache server, your SQL, and your PHP, which is the programming, the scripting language. But we won't go into those details. You can always read up on all of that, what they do and how they work. But mine is just take you through how to develop a website. So let's get started. Here with me, I already have the server here downloaded already. So just head into your web browser, go to Google and type Wamp server. I'm sure the first search will give you that. So once you've downloaded yours, you can continue with this video. So you just open this. Okay, as usual, Windows will always ask you, click on yes. Okay, here my own WAMP server as of this recording has Apache version 2.44, MySQL 5.6, PHP 5.4, and so on and so forth. Don't worry, we'll touch this as the training gets going. So you click on next and accept, click on accept, then click on next. Okay, this is asking for the path or directory where you want it to be saved. Well, to begin with, let's just leave it as default and click on next. Okay, it already tells me this already exists, but never mind, just click on yes and create a desktop icon. You can choose this if you want, but I'll just choose create a desktop icon and I'll click on next. Okay, we have this install as usual Windows. So we just sit back and watch as the server gets installed. So what this does is it install all you need. I call it all-in-one installation. There are lots of other servers out there apart from Wamp server. We also have Vertrigo, and we also have a Zend server. We have so many of them. Just Google them and you'll be able to find so many servers out there. Or better still, you can also join me in another tutorial for manually putting up your servers together using the Microsoft server, the IIS, which is Internet Information Service, with your PHP and your MySQL. There's a manual way for configuring that one, but this WAMP server is an all-in-one. It helps you install your server which handles the request, your database which is the MySQL, and also your PHP. So as of this recording, we have Wamp server 2.4 being under release. So once the server has finished installing, then you can sit back and enjoy the remaining part of the tutorial. Okay, well, we'll be using, like I said, we'll be using one of the content management system, Joomla 3.15, for this training. Okay, we have an error here. It says Firefox has been detected. So what this error or this message is trying to tell you is that it wants to use Firefox as your default web browser for Wamp server. But do you think that is good? Well, personally, I don't advise you making your one browser for use. So you just click on no, and you wait. It's telling you that you should choose a default browser for your program. Just click on cancel. So, well, hooray, we've got our server totally installed. So finishing installation now. Here is asking for our mail function. So, but since we are not a web hoster, we'll just leave it as it is and click on next. Now it's asking us to launch Wamp server now. Yes, of course, we want to make use of it now, so we'll just leave this checked and click on finish. Okay, it's wanting to start up the Wamp server, so if you click on next, or yes, sorry, pardon me, Windows with next and yes, don't mind them. Okay, for you to know if your Wamp server is up and running, if you want to know if your Wamp server is up and running, you see it at your taskbar down here. Okay, my screen can't get there. Okay, all right. Okay, here it is. You can see it here. Wamp server is even offline, so we have to put it online by clicking on this W. You can see the W, Wamp server. So click on it and do what? Click put online. So wait for a while, go back to our taskbar again, click. You can see it's trying to put it online. It's showing an orange color, now it's a green color. So it's online already, so we can do whatever we want with our server now. So once the server is installed, you head on to your web browser, whatever web browser you want to use, Internet Explorer, Mozilla, Google Chrome, anyone, but it's of your choice. I'll be using Google Chrome for this training. So in your URL, you just type localhost. You can type localhost. Okay, so what's wrong? Okay, whoops, we got it installed. So here we have our Wamp server up and running. If you don't want to use localhost, you can also use 127.0.0.1, which is also 0.0.0.1. that is also the same as a local host. Okay, it's going to take a bit of time. Okay, yep, it's open and this is our server. But you might be wondering, why do we have this displaying? We are supposed to have a website displaying. Well, there is a particular file responsible for showing this page, so and that is where we are heading up to. If you remember, when we're installing our Wamp server, it asked for a default directory and it was drive C. So let's head to our drive C now. Let's head on to our drive C. Okay, here in my drive C, I have a folder called Wamp. You can see it here, this folder called Wamp. So I'll open and here I have my www. You open. Here is the file responsible for showing our Wamp server page. So you might want to delete, or you might also want to leave it, but usually I like leaving it that way. So let's create a folder here. Let's create a folder here and call it training. You can give whatever name you want, but I'll be calling my own training. So, and inside this folder called training, that is where we'll be having all our work being done. So that's now we'll extract our Joomla 3.15. As of this recording, Joomla 3.15 is the latest. Before Joomla 3.15 there was Joomla 3.0, 3.03, and then before that 2.5. So many releases. You can head on to Joomla website, and there you can get how their release is being done, but that is not part of this training. So let's extract our Joomla. You go to joomla.org and you get yours downloaded. So when you are downloading your Wamp server and also your Joomla files. So we just select it, or you extract it into your training folder. So you just give it some couple of time and just does the extracting. So while it's extracting, let's head back to our web browser, and this time around what we are doing is to create our database. If you could remember, I said our Joomla will be using a database and PHP. So here now we are creating a database for our Joomla. So, and to help us do that, it's a software called PHP MyAdmin that will help us create our database. Since this training is just for someone who doesn't have programming knowledge, though you can use many other applications to create your database. You can use Navicart, you can use MySQL Administrator. So many softwares are out there, but the best is to use PHP MyAdmin. So you just type in your web browser localhost /php myadmin. You can see it. Just type localhost /php myadmin and hit enter. Okay, just take some time. Yep, it's opened. Okay, let's close this. Sometimes Google Chrome can act a bit nasty. Okay, so here it's telling you to log in. Usually when you install your server, it comes with a default password, a default username, root, and password is empty. So you don't need to enter any information here. Just click on go. Okay, here is where we are to create our database for our Joomla installation. So here we just head on to our database, click on it, and we can see create database here. So we give our database a name. Let's give it royal. We give it royal and we'll click on create. Just take a couple of seconds. Okay, database royal has been created. So, and that is all we are doing with this. But here in my PHP admin, you can do query, you can import, you can export, you can do so many other things. But as other trainings proceed, you see how we can use PHP MyAdmin well. So let's check our Joomla file that was extracting. Okay, here it is, that's finished extracting. So we can close this, and let us minimize our training folder for that we extracted Joomla files into. Okay, let's go back to our browser, our web browser, and type in localhost. Wow, it's still giving us that same page. What is wrong? Well, you have so many options here. If you scroll down, you see under projects you have training here, and you can click on your project, or in your URL you can type /training, or the name of the folder that you used when you created that folder /training. Yours might be test, it might be whatever name you've given to it, but it has to be the same thing in your URL. So this is our Joomla 3.0 installation interface. So here some informations are needed. An example is the site name. So we type in the site name. You can give it whatever you want: Microsoft.com, Facebook.com, eBay.com, whatever, but I'll be giving my own Royal. Just give it Royal, not Royal.com, just Royal alone. And then your admin email. Well, I might decide to do admin@royal.com or webmaster@royal.com. Webmaster. Make sure that this email address is what you'll be creating, or that has been created, so that it won't be an issue. So admin username, let's give it admin, but please don't use this on the live installation online. But let's move on. We'll still see how we can transfer our installation from our local system to an online server. So our password, so let's make it admin. Let's confirm our password again, admin. And well, coming up to this description, usually when you type on Google and you type, let's say, Microsoft.com or Facebook.com, when the result shows up, there's always a little description about the website. So this is where you enter the description. Let's give us a description. This is a training web design tutorial. Okay, click on next. Oh, sorry, I skipped something. Let's go back to the configuration. Here you can select your language. Yes, here you can select your language. You have so many languages, so you just pick the language you want, and if you want more languages installed, we'll do that as this training continues. So let's click on next. Okay, confirm admin password. Sorry. Okay, here is asking for the database type. Obviously it's MySQL, and our host name is localhost. Some web hosts give you an IP address, but it's very rare for some to give an IP address because their database is actually resident on another server, but ours is resident on the same system. So our username for our database, it's if you remember when we tried logging into MySQL, we were asked for a username and a password. So that username was Ruth, so that's what we are going to be using here. But if it's online, you'll be given a username and password. but on our PC there's just a username called root and there's no password. And the database name was the one we created using php myadmin. The one we created using php myadmin called it royal. Let me go back and show you that. Let's head to local host /php myadmin. Okay, if you remember the database we created, royal, the database we created here when we entered royal as the database. So that is what's here we have to put in here. So whatever the name of the database you created, that's what will be here. So just click on next. Here we're almost done, but you can decide to install a template or a sample of a Joomla installation. Well, for the purpose of this training, we will not be installing any sample data. Won't be installing any sample data. So we just scroll down and check the recommended settings. Here you can see display errors. The recommended is off, but right now we have on. And output buffering is supposed to be off, but we have it on. So to do this, we head back to our Wamp server icon at the taskbar of your computer. Here, down here, click on Wamp server, then go to PHP, then we head back to PHP settings, and here we can see display errors. It's actually ticked, meaning it is on. So we untick it, go back there, we can see our server is actually taking effect, to say that change is actually being effected. Now it's back online. Let's check to verify PHP settings. You can see is unchecked. So let's also uncheck output buffering and check it. Okay, our server is actually taking that effect. Okay, now it's back. Once it's green, that means it's up and running. There's no error with it. So let's check it again. Output buffering, okay, it's still on. Okay, you just have to restart all service, and that should take care of everything. Okay, now our service is restarting. So once it's green, we can proceed with our installation. Okay, yep, we can click on install now. Once your informations about your database is not correct, you get an error. So you are free to go back over this video and follow through slow and steady. So we just sit back and watch as our database is being populated. Okay, hooray! Now congratulations, you've installed your Joomla. And here we have a little problem here that says please remember to remove completely the installation folder. You might be wondering which installation folder. Okay, let's head back to where we have our Joomla files extracted to. I have mine here it is, and we have a folder here called installation. You can decide to hit delete on your keyboard, or you just click on remove here, and that removes the Joomla installation folder. So I click on remove. Yeah, installation folder successfully removed. Let's check our folder again. You can see there is no installation folder, so we are done. So now let's click on our site, and yep, we have our Joomla and our site up and running. But this doesn't look good. Well, you can't actually pay someone to make this kind of site for you. Don't worry, in subsequent tutorials we'll do a whole lot of customization on our website. Well, now the last, we've taken care of our server installation. Now we are going to do Joomla admin template customization. Though this is not actually necessary and it's not important, but it's just for the trick of it and the fun of it. So we just head in here and type in administrator. You as an administrator, you log in and do some changes to your website. Hit enter. Here is where we are to log in. When we were creating our Joomla, it asked us for a username and a password, and we used admin. So here is our administrator control panel interface, where we
it's
do
now
some
5 p.m.
to the website. So here we have so many things to look at, but during the course of this training we'll have all that being taken care of. So now let's customize our control panel and our login interface. Our login interface, this place, we will customize this Outlook and also customize this place too. So in your Joomla installation folder, let's head to your Joomla installation folder here, which is our training. Then you go to your drive C, your Wamp folder, then your www directory, and then your training folder, where we have our Joomla files extracted to the other time. So we open the administrator folder and head on to templates. Then we have a template, or one of the templates, called ISIS. So we open it, and here we have lots of files here. So head on into the images folder and we delete. Take note of what is written here: Joomla.png and logo.png. So these two folders, will delete them. We'll delete. Yep, delete. So we'll put our own picture or our own logo or whatever. You might have your own picture or your own logo. So I have mine here. Okay, so I'll copy and I'll paste inside my training folder. So I rename it to Joomla.png. I'll also copy it again, or I'll duplicate, paste, and I'll rename this one, the one that has copy, I'll rename to logo. Remember, it's capital LOGO, logo.png. So we are done with that, so we can close this, head back to our web browser and refresh. Okay, now you see Joomla is gone. We have our logo customized. Now let's log out. Let's log out. Okay, here hasn't changed. Let's refresh. Yep. Oh, we have it customized, so you can see it looks better than having the Joomla logo on it. I hope you enjoyed this training of installing your server and your Joomla installation. It's quick, it's easy and simple. So I'll be waiting for you to join me on more training coming on how to add content, how to customize your Joomla website to look fanciful, and we'll be doing so much of designing. So I would like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get more training on how to build your Joomla website. Thank you.